JW Marriott Hotel. Six.
Circle Friend
เ
Thank you very much.